Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
This has to be a joke. I do not believe this is happening. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now. I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance. I can't believe.
Thank you.
This is the Chicago.
Thank you very much.
That way. Must disperse to the west. You must disperse to the west. You must disperse to the west.
Taking our right away to be here. Just don't push us and there won't be a problem. We're fine. We're not pushing you. Don't push us.
Dude, this is awesome. Do you see how many of the boys I got to come tonight? Yeah, this is a pretty sweet turnout. Thank God people listen to me.
And now, please sit, stand, or kneel for the national anthem.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton.
The people, united! on the bridge now. I'm just gonna get my body on this pedestrian walkway up here. Oh shit.
City wildin', I told y'all. You see what Oakland look like right now? Pissed off.
Yeah, the cops are being very hands off. Must be the time of night or morning. Alright, y'all, we're coming up on I-5. They tweeted out we're almost by Interstate 5.
Why? We have the right to peacefully assemble here. Who gave you the right to take my right away? Who gave you the right to take my right away? Hold on. Sorry.
It's on me on TV.
You assemble! I want to ask the Chicago Police Department to please disperse immediately and allow us to assemble. Thank you,
These are the same rioters that were involved in Black Lives Matter. These are all paid agitators. This is nothing new. This is the same thing that they've done. The 1969 riots in Berkeley. This same exact thing. These are all paid agitators. It's the same group of individuals. You had a lot of rioters out there that are protesting and don't even know what they're protesting about. And that just kind of feeds to the further narrative that when Hillary Clinton lost the election, that they were going to do everything they can to destroy Donald Trump. And so you can see that. I mean, this is all funded by George Soros.
It's a good point, Larry. This is a fair election. And to the sergeant's point, even the protesters are saying, and the police in Portland are saying, wait a second, anarchists are flooding in. And they're taking over these protests and turning it into riots, where they're destroying stores, where they're destroying cars.
Well, the system is rigged, Bill. You look at the media, how horrible they are, how false they are, how negative they are toward me. I think 93% of the stories they write are like negative. Even if it's a positive story, they'll always find a way to make it negative. And, you know, I'm not quite used to it because I used to get great publicity. Now, no matter what you do, it doesn't make any difference. But the system is rigged. And I think the biggest rigging of all is what's happened with the FBI and the Justice Department with respect to Hillary Clinton, because she is so guilty in so many different ways that she shouldn't even be allowed to run for president. So right there, the system is really rigged. She should not be allowed to run for president.
What about the...
And Larry, I'd like your thoughts on this. Remember when President Obama repeatedly blamed Bush when he became president in 2009? Take a listen to what President Obama said back then.
I want to say a few words about the deepening economic crisis that we've inherited and the need for urgent action. We have inherited an economic crisis as deep and as dire as any since the Great Depression. Now, my administration inherited a deficit of over $1 trillion. But because we also inherited the most profound economic emergency since the Great Depression.
And now, Larry and Sergeant, I'd like your thoughts on this. You know, the critics have been calling out President Obama because also President-elect Trump inherited this mess of protests going on and 6 major race riots occurring just during President Obama's term, Larry. And you're even suing over that.
That's right. We are, and we, of course, are concerned about what's going on. I predicted this, Liz, weeks ago, that they would go violent. President Obama met with Donald Trump the other day, and he put on a good face, but it's a two-faced. Is that really, as Kellyanne Conway said, he could quiet this down. He could tell people to be quiet. But in fact, this morning, he was complimenting the protesters, saying they had a right to protest. So don't be fooled by this facade in the White House right now. President Obama, I believe, and his co-conspirators at Black Lives Matter, Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, they want to see this erupt because they're not satisfied with the election results. And in fact, they've stoked a potential civil war here. It's going to get worse rather than get better, and we need to enforce the law, and President-elect Trump should make it clear that he will make people obey the law, and there will be consequence for this kind of conduct.
We are going to fix our inner cities and rebuild our highways, bridges, tunnels, airports, schools, hospitals. We're going to rebuild our infrastructure, which will become, by the way, second to none. And we will put millions of our people to work as we rebuild it. We will also finally take care of our great veterans who've been so loyal, and I've gotten to know so many over this 18-month journey. The time I've spent with them during this campaign has been among my greatest honors. Our veterans are incredible people. We will embark upon a project of national growth and renewal. I will harness the creative talents of our people, and we will call upon the best and brightest to leverage their tremendous talent for the benefit of all. It's going to happen. We have a great economic plan. We will double our growth and have the strongest economy anywhere in the world. At the same time, we will get along with all other nations, willing to get along with us. We will be. We'll have great relationships. We expect to have great relationships. No dream is too big, no challenge is too great. Nothing we want for our future is beyond our reach. America will no longer settle for anything less than the best. We must reclaim our country's destiny and dream big and bold and daring. We have to do that. We're going to dream of things for our country, and beautiful things and successful things once again. I want to tell the world community that while we will always put America's interests first, we will deal fairly with everyone, all people and all other nations. We will seek common ground, not hostility, partnership, not conflict.
Last night, the three of us slept together. The only thing that I could think that I wanted was my big old butt 11-year-old boy right in that bed in between us. And he was just like, that's weird. You know, Philip went in and picked him up, and I just really wanted him right there. And he was like, and he said, what's wrong, you know? And I was like, Trump, you know, won the election, and my 11-year-old, you want to know what his response was? Are you serious?
What? What? Are you serious? Seriously? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Love you guys. I hope that everyone can rebound from this.
Right, in every competition out there will be a winner or a loser. It's just the way that competitions work. Literally everywhere you go, there are competitions going on, and there are always winners and losers. When we are children, we are always taught to be gracious losers. Yet sometimes losing a tough competition hurts, but if you accept it graciously, people will always praise your character. The problem with today's young generation is that they have forgotten how to lose graciously. Since the announcement that Trump has won the presidential election, liberals have been protesting this victory. They have literally ignoring everything that has been taught to them since we were children. It doesn't matter if you don't like the results. Trump won the election, and that is that. And that is a fact. Even look at how horrible that face is. Now it says, but these protests continue, and there is one person that seems to be the mastermind behind it. That would be the ultra-liberal billionaire George Soros. He was also responsible for financing some of the protest groups that was designed to have violence at the Trump rallies. During the election season, it was discovered that Soros was behind some of the protesters' actions. He was paying them to create a scene and cause violence that would have the media talking about the Trump rallies. Now, this shouldn't have been happening in the first place, but it was. Now that Trump has been elected President of the United States, there are people out there on the streets protesting his victory. It's a little ironic considering the liberals were the ones that were complaining about how Trump wouldn't accept the election results if fraud was detected. Here is the issue though. There is people out on the streets that are protesting the presidential election. These are the same people that were like the ones inciting violence at the Trump rallies, and those are the people paid by Soros to start. So it is likely he is one that is paying them to start this civil unrest now. Quite true. And there's a specific reason that Soros wants to have violence at the protest. That would mean that President Obama would have to declare martial law. This is how it works. It's literally a domino effect. There are people out there protesting the election results. We can see the martial law and all the footage. You can see it just around the corner. That's why I'm actually doing this video, to teach people why their protests are going to work exactly against them and why they're falling into the trap completely. Look at all the abase symbols in there. And there is proof that the protester stays. The protests are going on all over the United States, and one part of the nation, Austin, Texas, they found the buses that were being used to bring people in. Look, again, these plans in order to create civil unrest. We can see it all here, seeing it all. You can just tell looking at them. There's footage in this which I'm just going to put fake up, where there's crowds throwing bottles at windows, and you can tell that they're just fake. And there's proof of the signs that people brought into protest were all created and printed by groups related to Soros' cause. Look, all this, see, all this, the same thing, same type of symbols at different protests. Because you can't just print thousands of signs on a whim. These events have to be planned out and thought out, and that's exactly what is happening. Look, these haven't just all popped up overnight. They're saying basically, finally, it's like when all the lights go up around all the world after the big terror events. Pray for Paris, and all the landmarks get lit up in red, white, and blue within 20 minutes. Like, how do you get that many light bulbs that quick? Finally, the last proof is that the Democrats and Soros have paid people to protest and created disturbance at the Trump events before, since they have done in the past, and they're definitely going to do it now, and the Democrats are willing to pay them to create this disturbance. Now, can Trump be stopped? Now, I've said all along, I cannot see past Obama staying himself. I've said he's going to spark something that ends up triggering him having to trigger martial law, and then he's going to in turn be in full control, and the elections will be called off. Trump will not get nowhere near that Oval Office. It's looking more and more likely by the day. I've still been putting my head out on the line in public and saying to people, look, Obama, still Obama, still Obama. Look at all this, what's going on? Sorry, I tried to highlight all of that, but it never works. Can Trump be stopped? Yes, he can be stopped. The following election resulted in Donald J. Trump becoming the 45th president of the United States. Liberals have shown desperate signs of grasping to whatever straws they can to prevent the winner from taking office. From coast to coast, the temper tantrums turns into riots of fueling on the various ways to try to stop Trump. But the fact is, the scenarios being tossed around are utter nonsense and will not change the results. Let's have a look. Protest and riots. The presidential election. This is turned into the balance report, and as in the presidential election in the United States have never been changed because people whined and broke windows. There's nothing in the Constitution that allows anyone to change the results of an election. President Obama will refuse to leave office. The president's term is described by his Constitution. Inauguration and the new president happens with or without consent from the outgoing president. There's literally nothing the sitting president can do to prevent this. Moreover, unlike some internet websites that claim Obama has never threatened to stay in office, the rumour is merely a hoax perpetrated by a known satirical website. Can Obama declare martial law? Yes, a declaration of martial law could suspend the Constitution and keep Obama in office, but the military would have to go along with it. For starters, you've got all that in his arse pocket, and outside the significant national emergency and sporadic riots or not, it would be extremely tough for the president to declare martial law. He's already got a half in place. What's this talking about? President Obama himself expressed contempt for such conspiracy theories while on a campaign trial with Hillary Clinton. They've been feeding their base all kinds crazy for years. You've heard the Republicans if something completely denies climate change or fills up with all kinds of conspiracy theories about how me and Hillary started ISIL. You have got your own video about 15 times saying we are training ISIL forces, or what we are planning to declare martial law and take everybody's guns. You've clearly have. That's why we've seen the Orlando hoaxes. This is so patronising, this. Where's this gone now? A petition on skyrocketed and with 2 million signatures is called on electors to ignore their state vote and vote for Hillary for the president. In the entire history of the United States, there has been 157 faithless electors, and out of those, 15771 changed their vote because the candidate was selected. Vote had died according to the Fair Vote organ. Only 9 of those faithless electors have occurred in the past 80 years. No faithless elector or group of them has ever changed the result of an election. Trump's lead is so big it would take dozens of faithless electors to make such a dent in any idea more than just a childish dream. What's this last one? It looks like George Soros is funding the Trump protests just like he funded the Ferguson riots. We've just touched into this a little bit, but I thought it would be worth having a look. Why would anyone want to cause all this? Because martial law, like we've just seen, but they've just tried to play it down. But we can actually see all of this happening, so that last report was a bit strange when we can see so much stuff happening. And it says, yes, Obama can declare martial law, which brings me back to my video. So I'm going to go and finish this, and as soon as this is uploaded, I promise you this is seriously one of the best ones I've ever done. Do you want a sneak preview? Come on, darling.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.